Hello guys, I think there's everything working now, one sec. Yeah, seems alright. Alright, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing okay. Apologies for not streaming yesterday, obviously today being Wednesday. Normally I stream on Tuesday, just yesterday feeling crazy demotivated, couldn't really do anything to be honest, so I figured I'll stream today as well then, and then I'll do tomorrow as normal. Just because I do want to get this project finished, I'm kind of getting to the point of wanting to start on new stuff. So I'm going to see how quickly we can push through some more aspects. We do still have 2 more grooms to do, possibly 1, because as time's going on, I'm starting to like him just without fur. I feel like his design wouldn't work with fur to begin with. And there's no point just adding fur to everything just because, as much as I am always tempted to do that. So this guy we might leave without fur. In terms of how this project is currently looking, we do have a clean render that I kicked off. So you can kind of see like adding fur to this guy feels a little bit pointless. You could argue the same with him, but I think I really do want to commit to doing hair on him. I did also do a little bit of work off stream on this character. I just realized I need to post the actual link to this. So let's just get that posted. A little bit more groom work, a little more groom tonight. Cool, posted. But yeah, so I've done a little bit of work on the scene off stream, not a huge amount to be honest. I just did a quick revisit on this little guy. Literally just changed the direction of his fur so it had more of a swirl to it, although you can't tell in this render because everything's out of focus. Other than that, I did a very, very basic brick shader. Like, I mean basic. So in terms of what I'm now at the stage of doing, because this project's been going on for quite a few months, granted with a 2-month time off, I'm thinking, okay, well, to get this project done so that if I want to, I can leave it, we need to obviously do the environment. Like, we need to look dev all the wood and the metal pipe and the ground. So we got to figure all that stuff out. We also need to figure out kind of how to make this fence stand, because currently it's just jammed through concrete, which doesn't make sense for a wooden fence. So I'll have to put something there. And then we need to do the road, which is going to be like a cobble, like slate thing. I can't remember the name of the materials. We've got a ref sheet. But yeah, so in terms of actually finishing this project, like the minimum required to get something finished, just so, you know, finished, not perfect, is how projects should be. I need to look at this, look at this, look at that, all of the ground, and give him some fur. So we're going to give him some fur now. Hopefully get a decent pass done one day. His groom is going to be kind of complex because it needs to kind of sit against these side areas, which is going to be an absolute fucking nightmare, to be honest. Especially with Yeti's methods. So I'm going to have to do some guide clumping and all that sort of stuff to get full control, which I hate doing guide clumping. I think it's the worst. But, you know, it's just what we have to do. So that's what we'll do. And yeah, so hopefully, I'm hoping to have this project done by like the end of March, so in 6 weeks' time. And then I can move on to doing some more stuff. I'm thinking for the next project, just to kind of keep things diverse, I'm either going to get a Houdini license and do some stuff in Houdini, or I'm going to do some real-time work, do a little bit of Unreal, just because, you know, I did do like a lot of real-time stuff when I first started CG. I started on the games course. That was obviously like 8 years ago now, 9 years ago almost. But I do kind of want to do a little bit of real-time again, so I'll do a bit of that, and well, potentially do a bit of that, or Houdini, or both, why not? But yeah, so I just want to make sure I get this project in a place where when I do burn out, it's at least presentable. I kind of want to do some graffiti on the bricks as well, but that's something that will come later because it's not necessary for the project. I just need to adjust the colors. But yeah, so let's just get Maya open again. So we need to groom this guy in here, which is going to be fun because he's quite high poly. But yeah, so let's get that hidden. So I guess we just need to get on with it, right? So let's just name him. So let's call him Drain Monster. Let's rename all this. Drain Monster. And I'll have to rename some other stuff, but let's just go with this. So drain, monster, geo. And then these are all corneas, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they are. So let's just call these drain, monster, cornea, underscore. That will give me a bunch of numbers. Then let's add geo to that. What am I looking for right now? Search and replace. There we go. And we need to put a dollar, because for whatever reason dollar is a suffix, and we'll add underscore geo to replace with. There we go. Yeah, but as always, if anyone has any questions, by all means ask. But yeah, because I'm starting to get burnt out on the project, so I want to push through it. I want to make sure I'm not just abandoning the project, because I hate doing that now. I used to do it all the time, but I'm trying to grow out of it as an artist. But yeah, so that's what we're going to work on, this guy. So let's change to the perspective camera, because it's got a more friendly focal. Oh yeah, so that's, I'll have to change the groom on this guy, because it's currently going a bit crazy. Or we can just go back to the old guides, but in fact, let's super quickly just do some work on him. I'm not going to do too many test renders, I just want to get something on him. So let's go Yeti Graph Editor, close that. So I just want to fix this, whatever's going on here, which I think is the clump twist doing its thing. So let's go pipe monster. So where's the clump? There it is. So it's coming from, yeah, it's coming from the clumps. I mean, everything's coming from the clumps, but why don't I have a comb there? This is why it's good to take breaks from projects. Why don't I have a comb? What the fuck? Okay, so we got a comb on you. Why don't I have a comb on the actual hair though? Let's just get that in there. Comb. Cool. So that's working a bit better. So it's the twist, isn't it? It's completely breaking it. Can you go away? There we go. Yeah, we're gonna need a fair bit more work in this guy, I think. But not doing all that in today. This one was disabled for a reason, I think. Yeah, so that one was crazy. Let's reduce that. God, I really did build this in a hurry, didn't I? There's so much stuff that's like objectively wrong. These guides are passing through the eyes. God, yeah, I really rushed through this. Granted, I literally did it while I was on a call in Discord. Right, so that's getting destroyed. So let's go to, it's this guy, right? Yep. And again, we don't have a comb. What was I doing? Cool. Oh, that's kind of cool actually. So let's just get that. And let's turn off that twist. Yep. Go to 0. I'm just gonna have to fix the guides. Which I could do now. Fuck it, yeah, we might as well do it all in one go. Okay, so it's gonna be a completely different look now, isn't it? So we might need to do a percentage. That might give an interesting look. Cool, so let's quickly fix the guide work. What we need is for it to all be a bit closer to the pipe because there's too much of a gap at the moment. So we're just going to go through one guide at a time and fix that. So let's go here, edit groom, we need the tool options. So I'll spend until 8:30 on this guide work. And then once I've done the guide work for this, at least at basic level, I'll move on to the drain monster because I do want to get him really going during this stream. I want to get that room mostly blocked out, and it's going to be a monster for guide work. It's going to be a nightmare. So let's just get some guide work going on this. I don't need it to be perfect. I have an environment group, right? There we go. No, that's not going low enough. This is pretty rough. That needs to pull along a lot more. So I only really need to fix the guides that are at the front. Again, for the sake of speed and not boring you guys to death, which I'm sure I do anyway, to be honest, but we'll see. Like that could work. I might have to move the eyes again. But let's just quickly get all this stuff. Have that droop down a bit. I'm okay with the hair drooping down at the back. Just have a bit of fun with it. At one point I kind of wanted to do like a full body for this guy, like give him some little eye stalks and like two little hands peeking out of the top. But honestly, with him being so out of focus, I don't think, I mean, the amount of time I've already spent on him is more than he'll be worth in the final image. But yeah, we'll see. It might end up that I actually don't like this groom and go back to the original one that was like pure chaos rather than, yeah, the one that we ended the last stream on basically. I might end up going back to that. I don't know yet. We'll see how this turns out. I'm not worried about having perfect guides right now. I just kind of want to get something that looks interesting. Need more guides in the middle, I think, to stop it from breaking, but we'll ignore that for a moment. So let's try that. Suitably crazy. Maybe has the look I want. Let's give it a go. Let's get test cam. Or temp cam even. And let's hide kid and monster. Let's hide the mask room while we're at it, because we don't need all that. And hide that, hide the box. Anything else we need to hide? I guess not. Somewhere like there will do. And let's just get into our render settings and set it to not be 2x2K. It's already set to 1K. Oh yeah, because I didn't save at the end of the render. So get that open and get this started. Let's give this a go. Yeah, I quite like the idea of doing something in real time in the next one because I don't have to waste too much time rendering. Didn't mean to do that. Do I like that? Let's try removing the there's some strays in there. I think it was in this one, right? Yeah, let's turn that way down. Let's go down to like 2. There we go, it's got a bit more texture to it. We need a bit more work in the guides to get better looking shapes. It's got a bit of a toupee look to it though. Let me just quickly try something. 2.1 hash ID less than 0.201. No, it's not a comma. There we go. How is the old one looking? Do I have it saved? Question now is, do you prefer the version with more structure? I feel like I prefer this one as a body, but it needs some crazy strays, which I can get because I've built in a separate stray system. Because I like having more direction than this. Like this is a little bit too crazy, but I quite like the randomness it had. So if I go into here, let's just hide that for a moment. So I believe it was this guy. Yeah, so we got completely stray clumps there. So that's on the hair, which means this does that need to be clumped? Oh yeah, we don't need that anymore. I don't think so anyway. Yeah, all that does is kind of break it up a bit, but we can get rid of that, to be honest. Yeah, so let's remove him. So, before it gets to there, we need a scraggle. And that scraggle has license to be crazy. So let's just go, whoop. might be crazy enough. Maybe too crazy, who knows? Too crazy can be fun though. Yeah, I like that. That's fun. It's like a little nest with eyes in it. Yeah, I think I prefer this one. Good. Could argue it's worth having strays in this. So not every hair is perfectly following, just to get a bit of this craziness but in not clump form. So let's give that a go. I'll close that and close this one while I'm at it. So, let's go in the Yeti graph editor. We've got you. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, so let's conform all that. And then, should I use flyaway? I'm not sure. So that is affecting it. That's good. Let's go with, yeah, let's go with something like that. If anyone's wondering why sometimes I use weight and sometimes I use flyaway, basically flyaway, I've not figured out exactly why it's different, but it acts in a different way. The way that I interpret it working is it still has some clump influence. It's basically like adding flyaway is like adding a scraggle in the clump to some extent. It's not exactly the same, but it does give a different result from changing the weight. Like changing this weight to 0 has no influence on clumps at all, whereas this at least somewhat cares what the clumps are doing. So let's do something like that. That will soften the hairs out. It'll make it look a little bit more fuzzy, which might not be what we want, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, that's got a bit of the craziness. I prefer the slightly more solid clumps, so we'll keep that. Cool, so that's good enough for him because he's out of focus in the background. So let's move on to the main thing we'll be working on today, which is this guy. Have I put him in a layer? Ah, I was just in some weird selection mode. Alright, cool. So let's put that in template mode. Cool. So he's going to have a groom on him. So let's get started. I guess we may as well just quickly throw a Yeti node on him. Drain, monster, fur. I mean, am I doing fur fuzzies for everything? Has that joke died yet? Let's just do fur head. And then we also need a Yeti groom on this guy. press Control C by accident. And I'm just going to put groom. I'm going to group both of these, call that char drain monster Yeti group. Drag that into there, and then let me just check. Okay, cool. So let's just very quickly throw this together. Did I not create it on the mesh? Oh, apparently not. Add objects, geogroup, render group, characters, drain monster. There we go. I must have clicked create Yeti node rather than create Yeti node on mesh. Cool, so we got that. Let's just crank that up. We're gonna need obviously quite high numbers for this guy. Just add zeros. That will do as a block out. We've got a grow. We're gonna need a decent CV count for him. Let's see what 10 will do though. We're gonna need a comb. Where's he gone? There it is. Which currently will break because there's nothing in there. And let's create another one of these. This one will be set to groom. Plug that in there. Break. Yep. And break. Cool. So now we've got that. Let's add an input groom. This won't fix it because we don't actually have anything in the groom yet, but we'll get there. Cool. Now let's hide you and get started on placing guides, which I have no idea how long this will take. A while is what I expect. I feel like I need to put all this stuff in X-ray mode. How does X-ray shading actually hold up? Because that's not going to be overly functional. But we'll keep it that way as it is. So let's go into strands. Add. Oh yeah, it's going 1 per polygon. Alright, cool. So we're going to be doing this guy symmetrically. So let's go conforming strands. Alright, so we don't need at mesh vertices. Okay, so that's fine for distancing. Let's increase that a bit. There we go. Cool. Right, I'm gonna have to go one guide at a time with this guy because he's gonna be a tough one. Also, he's immediately intersecting. He's immediately intersecting this thing, so we should probably move him back a little bit, which we can do now, and it gets harder to do later. I mean, we could just hollow out this thing, but I'd rather not do it like that. So let's just grab him, move him backwards, and probably down a bit. Render cam. So let's get in the Arnold view. Let's go render cam, do that. Oh, I didn't move everything. Oh no. Yeah, that distance is fine. He probably needs to move up to the side of it. So let's just undo. Oh. Let's go perspective. So let's undo that. It's going to remember where he is in screen space. And go up a group. Modify center pivot. Let's just do. He's about there. I'm going to move him over that way a bit. Let's just do a update render. There we go. Looks about the same. Move him. I don't want to move him up actually. But now he's not intersecting. How did he look before? That's the question now. I do prefer him closer. I guess we can just let it get away with... Well, in a way, I kind of like how it's cutting the bottom of the mouth. Let's just move him that way a bit. Yeah, we can get it pretty much the same, so let's not worry about it too much. Let's just move it as close as we can without intersecting. There we go. Cool, kill that. Modify freeze transformations on that group. And Yeti won't have cared because we've not actually made any guides on it yet. And everything's in world space anyway. So let's go shading. I'm going to turn off X-ray. Cool. So let's get that. I should probably create a character group. So let's just create char LYR. Let's just keep it consistent. Cool. And then that won't affect the groom. That's Pipe Monster. Did I select the wrong groom earlier? Let's check that out. Okay, I was working on the right one. Cool. So we're going to need to start getting some guides around this guy. That is not my Wacom pen. There it is. So the hair, I'm pretty sure it's going to come from like this line. So let's just quickly make a line around. Basically just draw a line around the face and that's where hair comes from. Cool. Hair's gonna have to be really fucking long on this guy for it to work. We can probably have the front layer be like a certain set length, but then everything else is gonna have to be like kind of crazy. So let's go like that. Oh yeah, this is gonna have to be ridiculous. So I do want it to kind of grow on and around the surface, so we're gonna have to increase the length of all these. So let's do that. Oh god, this is going to be so horrible to do. I could handle length one at a time, I guess, but let's go. Because technically what I'm asking for in this groom doesn't make real world sense, but it doesn't have to make real world sense. It's a CG bit of work. So let's just get this length. Max clipping level, let's set that to 2. Let's set you to paint, attribute to paint, 2, and flood. Cool. So now all the hairs are double the original length, which is long enough for them to start doing crazy shit, which is good. Okay. So let's just start going one guide at a time. And I'm going to need to rebuild all of them, so resampling. 12 CV should be enough. It's quite long hairs. And I'll have to do a map later. That guy needs to move as well. The question is, can I remember which button? That's direction, right? Yeah, that's direction. That one's scale though, right? Yep, it is. Which one was move? Aha. There we go. It's a little bit further back. So what we'll do to begin with is just line the hair vaguely up with the surface. I'm not going to worry about matching it, especially since we don't actually have our ground in yet. and I still haven't decided if I'm going to do it in texture or not. There's a chance I'll do it in either Substance Designer or actually just model it because I'm a sadist. And this is a personal project, so I don't have to worry too much about pipeline cleanliness and consistency. I can just kind of fuck about, which is the best kind of project in my mind. The more projects I get to fuck about with, the more happier I am. This is going to be quite fun actually. Once we get over the hurdle of how do we actually get it to do what we want, which is going to take a few goes. I fully expect my first attempt to not actually do what I expect it to in the slightest. So let's just have that grow out this way. We may need to artificially increase the length of a few of them. Actually, is this 12 sample? Alright, so we're gonna need more. So let's go 16 CVs. Cool. There we go, that's better. This feels weird. I'm gonna need to do some stuff with that. In fact, actually, I'm gonna do some stuff with that now. If that doesn't work, I need him to like come forward or something to actually make sense. We will be doing a certain amount of guide clumping on this, so I do need each shape to be interesting in of itself. So it not only needs to play nice with the guides around it, but it also needs to actually make a nice shape on its own. Let's go to 24 CVs resample. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna have to probably put all of them to 24. The reason I don't like having, I know you can set CV count per strand, but the reason I don't like doing that is it means that your sculpt brush has different levels of sensitivity per guide, which I hate. Like it's the worst. Consistency is so important because it allows you to build like muscle memory and that sort of shit. You know exactly how big of a push you need to do to get the shape that you want. Something like that could be fun. And another thing to consider is these are smoothed at render time. And then once I've added displacement, God help me. The hair at the back is going to be super basic, so I'm not too worried about doing multiple layers of guides yet. Some serious fucking guide work. I might actually get some headphones on and listen to some music while I do this. This is the sort of music that this is the sort of work that requires like. I mean, I don't listen to podcasts, but for most people, this is podcast music. Favorite working music I've found recently is a playlist someone made. Not a playlist, sorry, a mix someone made of like chill hop versions of Zelda themes. And it's like they're so well made that I can't help but love them. Even though I've always hated like kind of game music that's made to be cool, but it's actually really good. Almost annoys me. Yeah, so that's crossing over. Let's have it actually be a bit more of a visible cross. So it's like really pushed up over the thing. Oh, we missed one. This is gonna be a long process. Let's have him follow mostly the same direction. Technically, this hair makes absolutely zero sense in terms of like how it is on him as well. Let's get that there. What I'll do is I'll probably do one side and then I'll do a test with the groom. I'll need to paint a map as well to say where the hair should go. Okay. So let's get that going up a little bit. Can't have them all doing the same shape. Should we try to make it feel like it's gripping this surface? It's got some kind of tension in it. Like, that's not a goal for block out, but in general. This is probably going to be one of those though where like in practice it ends up being so difficult to do that I change the idea slowly but surely. Iteration at a time. So I'm not too worried about it never intersecting. Like, it's going to be impossible. Once we've got multiple layers of hair, we're not going to be able to stop it from intersecting at the back. At least with the framing we've gone for. Like, we have gone for this monster's way too fucking close. Like, the hair would be pushed down by this sort of setup. It wouldn't come out and climb around. Which kind of implies that the hair's sentient, actually, now that I think of it. I think this is like the second time I've done sentient hair. I can't remember what the other thing I did was. To be honest, if I did remember, I wouldn't be able to say anyway, but I've definitely done sentient hair before. Just trying to remember whether I did it for work or not. I don't like the fact they're the same length. Let's start giving this a go. I'm also going to get my headphones on and listen to some music. If I start speaking quieter or louder, let me know. So let's go YouTube. Also, if anyone's interested, this is what I tend to listen to at the moment while I work. Getting a really annoying long advert moment. Come on. There we go. Cool. So, let's save that. We're gonna need to make a map for this guy, aren't we? So let's go into ZBrush. Then we have a cool. We definitely lost these along the way. So let's get that duplicated. Oh, I can probably delete these ones now. Yeah. Cool, and let's just duplicate that. And then if he has subdivision layer, yep, delete lower. Subtool, rename him. This one will be for fuzzies. Mask. Cool. So what we need to do now is flood fill this to black. Color, fill object. Start painting white. Probably would have been quicker to paint. In fact, yeah, it's flood fill to white and then paint black. Oh, that's not painting at all. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just get a little bit of breakup. Something like that will do fine. Let's get a little bit more around there. Technically this hairline makes no sense, but the monster itself makes no sense. So we've got that one. Let's just save this scene. Z plugin, multi-map exporter. We only need 1K, texture from polypaint, great. And then we need to go all the way back to projects, personal work, StickyMonsters. Scenes, texturing. I'm gonna call him secondary monster A, which I massively regret. And then we're just gonna put that in there. What up? Hey man, how's it going? So this isn't a monster that I'm currently grooming this guy and just need to what's the word I'm looking for? Just need to give him some fur. So let's get into Yeti. So we need to create a texture node just here. And this will load probably rename all these. That's the one. Density, and then we need to do 1 minus to invert that. There we go, that's worked. Oh god, this is going to be a rough one. Okay. Oh god, this is going to be so difficult to do. Shit. It's like once you see the once you see what interpolation wants to do, you start to realize how big of a task you got ahead of you. Oh Jesus. Okay. So let's start making this somewhat presentable. We're just going to worry about what that looks like at the moment. So let's get Yeti Graph Editor open. So that grow is going to need more CVs. We're going to need to go to like 16 CVs. And we're going to need, that's importing, so we're going to need to convert you. So we can do guide clumping. So let's grab you, let's create a convert. Cool, and then let's create a clump. What? Cool. So oh god, this is gonna be rough. Okay. So let's go into cool, so we got that. So now let's duplicate these guys. let's create another clump. This one can be way more dense, so let's go 10K. Maybe 10K was a bit much. So let's step it down to 2K. Cool. Scrap you, take this down to like 200. Cool, so now this will actually do something more interesting. Cool. So that's our subclumps. So now we just need to add one final layer. This is our actual hair now. And we create another clump. This one we can actually have with a width node. So the way that, so this is responding to Pranath's question, the way that Yeti works with clumping is basically you get one first system and you clump it to another. It'll be a lot like a groom tool that you're familiar with, that we're both familiar with, that we can't talk about because NDAs. But yeah, you create one groom system and you clump it to another. So the reason I'm duplicating is so that I don't have to create the same thing multiple times. So I scatter my points, I grow my hair out of that, I guide my hair using a comb node, and then I clump it to another groom system which has more or less hairs. So this one, let's go to 8K. And that means that this is now way more dense. So we can create a width node on that. And this, we're just going to still hate that. Set these around and then go 0.02, 0.01, 0.005. Getting closer. There we go. Although I can probably do really chunky hair with this actually, so let's step that up. Right, yeah, let's do chunky hairs in the sky. There we go. So you can be locked. How many hairs am I generating right now? So that's 26,000. How many is that? 100,000. That shouldn't be that slow. I always like to add one relaxed step. Can you not reuse and pipe the same node earlier up the network? You can, but the problem is the node that I want to adjust is the scatter. So if I wanted to change the amount of hairs, obviously what goes down pipe from that is affected. So if I wanted to change the amount of clumps, I still need those clumps to have shape. So I can't just merge these together and put them through the same grow node. Luckily these nodes are pretty quick. I think if you view them, it actually tells you how long it takes to calculate. Or you can actually set the, come on. Yes, it tells you the evaluation time. So this grow was 0.02 seconds. So it's normally, you know, short enough for you to not really have to worry about it, to be honest. But yeah, like the main thing that I'm changing when I add these clump nodes is the scatter, because I want to change the density. Obviously the the hairs, you want there to be more hairs than you want there to be clumps. Normally by about 4 times, at least 4 times anyway, from hair to clumps. So I can't really just duplicate the scatter. It's just not really how it works, sadly. But the efficiency of duplicating the stuff is actually better than you'd expect. But yeah, that's the it's the only thing we really changed, because the grow and the comb I never adjust. I've never adjusted comb. I find that the unpredictability it adds isn't worth it. The grow is how you add length variation, which I almost never use, which is bad. I need to start using it. And then the scatters, the density of hair, and the spacing of it. The relax steps are really efficient. It actually amazes me like how quick it is. But yeah, are there hairs growing inside the mouth? But yeah, so now if we turn off the guide clumping, that's where it all goes to shit. Yeah, there we go. But we have controllable shapes if we do that. So we're gonna need, obviously we need more guides, like, oh, we should actually delete hairs at the back. Yeah, why haven't we done that? Just quickly paint all this hair out back here. Because that'll save us quite a lot on processing time. So we're generating all these hairs that you literally will never see. And like, as much as I love doing work that people don't get to see, I feel like it's in my blood at this point. There's no point computing stuff that people will never see. That's just wasting time. Cool. So that will save us a good chunk of, not render time, but like just generating the groom. Cool. So let's just, oh, and I didn't get in there, okay. There we go. So annoying thing with ZBrush is I need to now go and delete this map. Where is it? That's the one. So that I can remake it. There we go. So now let's go back into this, pick that again. And let's just very quickly so it's working at the front, so it's just not cleared the cache, so let's grab that guy. Yeti flush texture cache is selected. There we go. That's a lot less hair now. Yeah, so now we just need guides to that back line. But I'm not going to do that for a little while. Cool. And 3 seconds evaluation time. Cool. We can probably change the density as well, but we'll get back to that because I've got a shit ton of guide work to do. So let's hide you, select you, and then let's go tool settings. Yeah, let's put that music back on. So my first pass is just to get everything in place, to be honest. wanted to do something a bit more interesting with a few of these. Maybe a few of them should be reaching out actually. Oh, that's something else I did off stream as well. I beveled the bricks. So now I can actually subdivide them and displace them rather than use bump. Technically, I should probably delete about half these guides, but at the same time, I'm going to end up placing them anyway. And the interpolation doesn't do that great of a job in Yeti, so I'm not sure if I'd actually save much time. And again, I'll be moving all these around once I've got a bit more work done. Yeah, I mean, I do have lo-fi playing in my headphones. In terms of playing it over the stream, I'm not entirely sure like what playlists I can play and that sort of shit. But I think I'll try to get that set up for tomorrow's stream. I generally try to talk about what I'm thinking though as I work. Yeah, I should link up with Spotify. I'm not sure how it works with all the copyright shit though. So knowing that YouTube doesn't have something built in to add music. So the danger is if I end up using something that's copyright, like there's a lot of copyright playlists that have copyright shit in them, which is really annoying. If I end up using something that is copyright, it mutes the whole fucking video. Yeah, that'd be great if you could, man. Very much appreciated. I could probably set up now, to be honest. Let me just quickly try something. I have no idea if this Zelda playlist is fucking... I think it doesn't say that it's copyright free. I'm not sure. Okay, let's give it a go. I'm gonna go to OBS and add right, you have to tell me what the levels are like. I don't know, like what's the levels like? Can you guys hear that? So let's just play my desktop audio. annoying if I get a fucking advert come up. Alright, cool. I'll just leave that going. If the audio gets taken down, fuck it. Because I've had copyright on videos I've made, like on the guitar covers I've done. I get copyright on those, but normally what they do is just they monetize it themselves, so they put ads in the video. Maybe turn it down 10% more. Alright, cool. So it's in decibels. So let's go minus 41. Let me know if that's okay. You can't avoid copyright, to be honest. It's so difficult to do. But like literally, like the 2 guitar videos I did just before I left London, both of them have like copyright claims. I mean, from what I've read up, there's 2 different copyright systems on YouTube. There's copyright strikes, which are really bad to have, and there's copyright claims, which are fine. Like there's no big deal about having those. There's no limit on the amount you have. And copyright strikes expire after 30 days. So as long as you're not going out your way to like claim shit as yours, you tend to get away with it just fine. Granted, yeah, it's best not to get copyright of any kind, but copyright claims, they literally just say, oh, this is ours, so they put adverts on your videos, and they get money from the adverts, which, you know, with my grand total of 4 viewers, I'm sure they'll really love that extra currency. Open your stream on your phone, listen to it back. Yeah, I could do. I probably, what I tend to do to test audio, like when I was getting my microphone set up and stuff, I just record videos and like listen to them back. Because I can, you know, listen to it in my headphones and all that sort of shit. With Linkin Park music, oh man, you're one of the cool kids. Yeah, you can have, I think it's 3 copyright strikes and you're gone. Like your channel is fucking dead. But you have to get all 3 of those at the same time. Or like during the same 30-day period. I don't think there's any limit on the amount of copyright strikes you can have over the lifetime of your channel. But that said, if you get those 3, like if a advertiser finds all your videos at the same time and you've got 50 videos that have got their copyright, you're fucked. Like, the issue is like most royalty-free tracks that I've found aren't that great. No offense to the guys that make royalty-free shit. I mean, I guess Moby makes some good stuff, and he's royalty-free and everything, which is insane, considering he's actually a successful artist. They clean up for good after a year. Oh, is it a year? I thought it was like 30 days. Imagine if this playlist I've got going at the moment counted as like each track is a different copyright strike. Started showing 69 minutes ago. Nice. Thanks, Pranav. Let's just have this one kind of reaching over. I need to have these do something a bit more interesting vertically. Oh, this is going to be such a painful groom by the time I'm done. fly him across that way. No. I'm slowly getting used to the guide system in Yeti. I still don't like it, but it works. It's not the worst I've ever used. I mean, hell, my first couple grooms were N-Hair, where the entire curve system was NURBS. So I feel like that trained me to not bitch about guides too much. With my first experiences being so bad and still somehow getting through it. With surprisingly decent grooms when I look back at my first grooms, like they're not good, but they hold up better than I would expect considering how early on it was. It was definitely beginner's luck though, because I had no idea what I was doing. That's not what I want. First layer's almost blocked. You suck. Ah, thanks. Where's the lo-fi? Mike, what? What? I have to turn it. But Pranav was telling me to turn it down. You barely speak though. I speak when people talk to me. It's just very few people interact on these streams. Listen here, PP man. You can tell that people commenting are like actually know each other. You guys are so cute. So Pranav, when you come into Belfast? It's not like there's anything going on in the world that will stop you, right? It's hilarious at the delay. I mean, sure. 'Tis the way of streaming. What are you doing in this stream? Grooming. Unless you're talking about Pranav. I'm so confused. Mike, we're only Mike, we're your only two pals. Fuck off. I have friends, I swear. I feel like my theme tune should be the Black Keys song Lonely Boy. Once I get short enough to swim across, because transport is banned. Is transport actually banned? Well, Pranav, I believe in you. You can do the swim. Just wear something warm and probably waterproof, and you'll be fine. Might be some water on the way. Let's just get lazy with these guys. Whoop. So close to the end, I'm just like, fuck it. Do them all in one go. And I need to add the layer of guides behind these, which is going to be just as painful. Although those guides behind probably won't do much. It'd be really nice if the guide system in Yeti was depth based. So you could sculpt the top of a guide while not affecting the base. So with it being screen space, it's a bit of a nightmare. I'll do. Now I need to do something that ties that together structurally. So we got our first layer blocked. I don't like what that guy's doing, so let's curl him against. Alright, so that's the first layer of guides. Cops are asking at stations where you're going and why. We'll get into this. Well, it's the easy part. I don't know how to swim. You don't know how to swim. I mean, to be fair, my nan doesn't know how to swim. Which I always found really strange because I was a kid and she used to go swimming with me. But, you know, me being like 8-year-old, she'd be stood in the shallow part, like nervous to go further. And me just kind of swimming around, like having time of life, not really realising it's because she couldn't swim until I was way older. I say way older. Sounds like a recent thing. Oh, good lord. Okay, so we started in guides in the back layers now. So let's do that, I guess. 4. Let's show that. So we need to do the back layer. So let's go through, it's about there. Edit room. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Alright, let's make the hair visible, but only at like the lowest level. So this way, I can add guides and not really have much of a delay. And between these points, I'll scatter the rest. So let's just grab all of these. We just need to pull these like vaguely forward. God, it's gonna be such tight grooming. Oh, I need to give these guys some extra length as well. Or do I? I should really. So let's do that. Jesus. Okay, so let's resample those and sweep them all forward. Weep. That's gonna take a while. Should we turn on mesh collision actually? Alright, it's already on. The fuck? So I'm not going to worry too much about getting like exact shapes back here, because I just need it to vaguely follow the fur direction of the layers in front of it. But they're not going to be visible, so. You've almost drowned twice. I should take the hint from the universe, Jesus. I'm glad you didn't, but oh. Jesus. Oh, it's gonna take so long. Jesus. Right, let's continue. Maybe I should make all these back hairs shorter. Let's cut them all like there. And now scatter, form new strands. Disgusting. So let's give that groomer view now. Why is the shape so flat? That's what I want to know. Is there a way for me to change that? It's like force a more conical shape. Of course it comes down to base attraction. That's starting to work though. So now what happens when I go to the next layer? Okay, so at this level we want to have some hairs that aren't attached. Let's not do it like that. So let's get an expression in here. Let's go hash ID +1 less than 0.25, let's say a quarter of them. 1, 0, no, 0, 1. This is clumping, not straws. Bit much maybe. Okay, let's go like 0.5. That's better. Or should I set that to 1 still and add flyaway? Flyaway might work a little bit better in this case. I feel like we can probably lower the amount of CVs on these guys. Let's go down to 10. That'll speed things up a little bit as well. So let's crank that. Really don't like this song. It's gonna take a while, isn't it? I just need to make sure these are doing. I see the CVs here, but what I'm wondering is that like CV count being way too low, or is it the way the clumps are? Oh no, that's absolutely these. Alright, we need to go higher in that. Let's go 24. Oh god, it makes such a big difference. Okay, I don't really have a choice. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a choice on that one. So let's get a bit more length variation there. Let's also increase the CV count on this guy. Let's go 32 for the final hairs. So we definitely don't want every single hair clumping here. Let's go 0.1 on flowers. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot more guides. Oh, Jesus. Let's get a scraggle in there. I'm wondering if I should go through the process that kind of confirms the way the clumps work and gets it to be a bit more like action. Let's just get a little bit of length variation in the hairs. 0.6. So we've got a lot of intersections to fix here. Luckily, most of the intersections seem to be coming from smaller guides, which actually makes them a lot easier to fix. Yeah, I think we should. But it acts really weird. No, we'll leave it. So I know it's going to be an intersecting mess, but out of interest as to what this will look like, let's just quickly assign a Arnold material to this guy. Standard hair. Drain monster hair matte. Yeah, it's going to take a few passes to get this working. Honestly, this might be the most difficult groom we have to do for this entire project. Jesus. Oh yeah, render density. Temp cam. Beautiful. So obviously that looks bad. Look at his little face. Yeah, we're gonna need a bit more length variation in clumps. Weirdly, that might be the main thing. So if we add a little bit of so we're at guy clumping, which goes to big clumps. So let's add a little bit of length variation at all stages. So let's set you to 0.8. Should have gone 0.8 really. And then let's set you to 0.8 as well, which means that over time our groom loses length. But honestly, I'm not too bothered. And then this one, let's add a little bit more length. Oh, it already has a little bit more length variation. So let's give that a quick render. See if the edges are feeling a bit better. And then we'll fix the guides. Even the message group. Fuck off. Yeah, it's very basic. Just about to see a single eye poking through. Yeah, the hair width needs to go way down. I thought I could do like something cool with chunky hair, but I'm not sure. There we go. Yeah, once you get some more guides in there, kind of giving it a bit more shape. I should get some strays in there too, actually, while we're at it. So we got this guy, which is noise and everything. So the scraggle after him. This one can be 10% of hers. Oh, let's get the 0 in there. And let's set that temporarily to something really stupid high. Beautiful. Let's add some random. Add or remove some frequency. And then obviously massively decrease the strength. So now I just need to fix the length of these hairs. I also feel like I need more CVs still. Yeah, it sounds like something more interesting now. Cool. So I just need to do guide work until everything's cleaned up, which might take a while. In fact, let's rather than use this, remember that's 0.2, let's do this. Hash ID +2 less than 0.2 question mark 0 1. Yes, we need a bit more guide work. Why are they kicking up like that? Oh, it's these hairs back here, isn't it? Okay, well, time to stop. It's gonna take a while. We got until like 10:30 before I call it quits for tonight. And I'll be streaming tomorrow because I missed Tuesday. So, cool. You have to have them all like sit super tight to the roof of this thing. Because currently they're coming up and down too far, which is causing issues. This is the sort of room where X-Gen helps a lot because of how nicely it interpolates everything. Yeah, it's way too high. Maze of curves. I have to move this along a bit. Got a bit more room now. Oh, a bit less room, but that's what I need. Let's actually quickly check what that smaller drain looks like, come to think of it. Does the smaller drain look weird? Check it against previous renders. Ah, it's subtle, I don't care. Cool. It always amazes me how quick like Arnold's scene translator is. Like, it's crazy fast. be a bit better. Won't be fixed, but be better. I don't get what's happening to these strays. Like, why are they going so crazy? That's the problem with Yeti, it's way too unpredictable. Let's have a quick look at the shader for this guy. God, Yeti is awkward. It struggles with grooms where I need fine control. That's the problem with it. There we go. High roughness hair can look so cool. I'm beginning to wonder if rather than grooming a monster, I should have groomed like a polygon strip. We're going to need to do some long guides, I think. Might intentionally make some guides longer than they should be. Yeah, let's give that a go. So, what shapes do we want to force? I want to give this guy a nice curl. So let's go through one by one and do that. settings. So let's just go to him. So it's to add 0.1 and flood, 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 flood. You do a little curl up here, I think, to counter that. So let's use him. The nice thing with the guys and yetis, because you can paint the length like that, you can, you know, paint them too long, sculpt the general shape you want, and then cut the hair to the length that you want afterwards, which is quite a nice little method. Oh, so we need that to curl the other way. Let's resample you. Let's actually resample this to a higher CV count. I guess we can probably go higher CV count in all of them, to be honest. Yeah, let's have that weave through. It's at the edge anyway, so we don't need to care about it too much. Let's resample all of them. We need some hairs here to do something cool, so let's grab, let's grab you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's get some breakup in this area, because I know that bit was looking a bit shit. Maybe he can be the long one. Let's just see how that works. Hey Gussie, how you doing, man? There we go, that's working. It's not doing everything except, but the hairs are getting cut shorter. I'll shut this from render cam. need some more shit over here, don't we? Should we have the hair be way longer in the bottom, like reach out quite a long way? I think that would look way more interesting, so let's do that. Edit groom. So we're gonna have to do it one strand at a time, otherwise it's gonna be really way too hard to control. So let's do this guy first. Let's do that. Oh, did that thing I didn't want to do. Let's cut those back to the original length. Some crossing going. Let's get all these guys, push them down. That might fix a few of the issues actually. Skip past this song. To mute Facebook. There we go. Yes, they're not reaching the end, so we have to do a bit more in terms of forcing them. Actually working a lot better now. Let's give that a test. Pay attention to chats everywhere. No. Multitask like a fucking king. Alright. How fucked is this bit? Oh, it's out of focus. Cool, we don't have to worry about it. Although it shades weirdly, which shows that it's fucked. This is this strip here is how has the grout material attached to it, which is going to be an issue. Actually, you can start to see a bit of his face. What time is it? Oh, it's just gone 10. All right, let's start clicking off end of stream render. I'm wondering when we're going to hit the point at which it just stops rendering. Can't wait for that. Have to go into extreme debug mode at that point. Let me just put a 2K render on. Still can't believe at one point during the Twigs project I was doing a 4x4K render every single time. What are you using to render? Same as always, man. It's Arnold. Oh, same as always. Same as always for this project. Next project I'm going to change my renderer again though. Meant CPU, GPU. Oh, CPU. I don't use GPU rendering because when I was getting the PC parts, it's like end of 2019, so I knew that the next RTX cards would be coming out back then. So I went pretty cheap, but I've not got around to upgrading yet, so I'm still on a RTX 2070. Because I didn't see the point in spending money when I knew the second generation would be a decent upgrade. I didn't realise how big of an upgrade it would be, but still. But it does mean that using a 2070 it's not really up to scratch with the CPU I'm using, which is a Ryzen 3950X, 16 core, 32 threads. So that one's plenty powerful enough to do all the rendering I need. No 30 series. No, I haven't got the 30 series because when I was building the computer, the 30 series didn't exist. It wasn't even announced at that point, but I knew there would be. Oh, there's. You mean as in there's none that exist? Yeah, it's. I'm gonna wait until they're readily available. Then buy. I'm considering a pair of 3080s rather than a 3090 because I don't do anything that's too VRAM intensive. So I figured with two 3080s I could have one for when I'm streaming. I could dedicate one to video encoding and one to actual rendering. And when I'm doing personal work I can have them both rendering. Right, so what have we got to do next? I mean, that's pretty much end for this stream in terms of what we're doing work-wise, but let's get PureRef open. And load recent. So, environment-wise, we're going to be doing a road either like this one or like this one. Probably more on the side of this one, to be honest. And path-wise, we'll do something like that. So I'm wondering whether I want to model it or if I want to do it in Substance Designer. In production, you'd absolutely do this with Substance Designer and like line up the UVs to kind of do what you need, but this is a personal project. He's cheap and won't buy one. No, I'm just waiting for them to be available like readily. I'll be buying one this year, absolutely. Oh, you're referencing that dickhead. There's someone on Facebook who, in a random comment, said that I'm a penny pincher, and I find it hilarious because it's like, I'm not a fucking penny pincher. I spend money way too readily. Even when I'm broke, I'm just like, no, I want to get this thing, and I'll do it anyway. So it's like when someone called me a penny pincher, I was just like, oh bless, they just want to say something negative, don't they? It's so cute. When I pointed out that I play like really fancy guitars, he was like, oh well, you're not a guitar player unless you play flamenco. And it's like, oh god, he's a cunt. Like, Jesus Christ. If he sees this, I don't care. Like, he is a cunt. Let's see how that render's doing. Drag over to the screen. Oh yeah, we can close ZBrush now. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave this rendering in the background. Does anyone have any questions? Anything you want to talk about? I'm just gonna turn down the music. It's distracting. Since it's the end of the stream, there's no point having it on full. With how much software costs every month, no artist is cheap. Yeah, true. In 3 months, I've got to buy a year license for ZBrush, for Maya, which is going to cost me what, 1,200, 1,300. But yeah. Should I model the ground? Like, not now. I mean, like the cobble street thing. Should I model it? Because the advantage of having polygons is that I can literally like snake these through it. And it's not exactly hard to model. It's just some smoothed cubes intersecting a mesh. The same way I did the brick and its grout. Although the grout is breaking through the bricks in quite a few areas. I need to fix that. Yeah, I think I'll leave him without a Grim, because I quite like him without the Grim. And I've already got fucking, like, way too many Grims in my scene. Try Unreal. Yeah, I was thinking of doing Unreal for the next project. One thing I will have to do is kind of scatter debris and stuff, just to make it feel less like an empty set. So we'll have to do some speedy debris modeling. I'll probably just do like stones and shit, like stuff that's generic enough. You beveled the bricks, why the hell wouldn't you model the ground? Yeah, true. Maybe I should model the ground. In which case, should I just do that now and not do an end of stream render? Okay, let's do some cobblestone. Is this a flat mesh? It's not flat mesh. Oh, it's mostly flat. Fuck it, yeah. Let's do it. So do that. Let's hide the Grim group. God, I do not like this one. Let's go back to the last video. This advert is so overplayed. Alright, I'm muting the advert. Come on. Alright, let's do a bit of ground modeling then. Cube. Something like that. So, how are we going to handle... I mean, obviously they're mostly squares, but they're quite rough. And it's quite a lot of size variation. So let's... Wait, what's the other reference? This one's a bit too chaotic. Technically it'd be easier to do, because if I could just go into Houdini, I would literally fracture the floor and extrude it, but I'm not going to do that. Let's just size that up a bit. And let's just see what it looks like if I smooth it. Okay. You're making a tiled mesh for the road? Yes and no. I'm gonna make a mesh and just duplicate it around. should all be slightly different sizes actually. It's gonna need to be flatter, isn't it? We'll figure out a small patch and then take it from there. Yeah, maybe polymodeling this isn't the best idea, let's face it. I've had many bad ideas during this series. Part of the charm. Let's delete these guys. Oh, that's not what I want. So something to keep in my head is that when I render this, it'll be with a displacement on it, so all the shapes are naturally going to get broken up anyway. Just put that something like there. My general approach is going to be like fill patches. I'll probably end up going to substance, to be honest. I could always convert a substance to geo. Out of curiosity. Why the heck? Come on, you're brave enough to say fuck. There's no fur to render, why is it even trying? Come on. Ah, come on. Please. Too regular, not square enough. Too big, maybe? It's like a bunch of pieces out. Yeah, it's very very soft. I'm gonna do a quick test with displacement and see how much it helps. I'm literally just gonna throw these shapes because if I need to subdivide it, if I need to sorry, like actually model it properly, then I'll model it properly. But I'm gonna see if I can get away with just displacement doing it, which probably won't be able to get away with it, but I'm gonna give it a go. You don't know if you don't try. I'm not going to worry too much about the intersection as well. That brick's really identifiable. So if we throw a material on all these, assign new material, let's go standard surface, and let's just call this tempy temp. Cool. So what we want on these guys, oh, I need to merge them, don't I? Combine. Cool. And then let's get our renderer going. Come on. Right, so let's set the scale of this guy. Is it 10, 10, 10? So I need a bigger noise to break up the actual shape. Definitely need to model it properly, like actually pick out a few bricks and model them. Or I can just do it in Substance. Maybe a cell noise would work better. Let's do an AI range. Let's go flakes. No, not flakes. Cell. Been a while since I used a cell noise, so let's see how badly this goes. I always forget what it actually looks like. I mean, that's a little bit strong. What is it I'm looking for right now? Scale. That makes it feel more like fractured stones in a surface. Bit extreme though, isn't it? .02. Apparently it doesn't read that. Alright, so RGBA. So that can give me a rockier surface, but obviously it still relies on the mesh itself being a better shape. I will need a shader on the road as well, though, to be fair, which will help. Just throw a quick shader on the floor. Let's also rename these to road brick mat. Mat. Cool. And then let's just grab this, assign new material. Road map. And then let's get a displacement on that as well. Let's just grab something like that. Edit, duplicate. What was it doing? Oh yeah. Something broke. Based on UVs. Oh wait, do they need frozen transformations? No. What's going on there then? Set it to world. Okay. What's going on? That's so weird. Why is it acting so fucking weird? Is it the poly count? Just way too low. Oh, yeah, that's it. So let's go iteration 6 because it is the ground. So the bound is breaking it. So let's go in to U. Just make sure that displacement shader set to 1. Same in U. Why is it so much stronger in this one? It's so weird. This one's just so much more sensitive. Oh, unless it actually considers the actual size. No, that wouldn't make any sense at all. Okay, well, I'm going to call this stream there, I think. Partially because of how confused I am. I'll save this. Yeah, I guess we'll model the bricks. I'll just, I'll spend more time on them, but I'll actually make some proper models in the next stream. Let's just get those grooms visible and kick off a render for the end of the day. I wish ZBrush had a set project. It does, doesn't it? Like you can store configs that tell it where things are saved. If I remember correctly. It's in the Z config file. Even Pranav might know more about that, to be honest. See, dude. I'll be streaming again tomorrow in case you want to tell me that you're not showing up. Yeah, have a good night, mate. What's our RAM usage? RAM usage is at 24%. No, 24%, 24 gig even, which is 38%. That's not too bad actually, considering everything going on in the scene. See you, dude. Have fun. Cool. Well, I'm going to end the stream, guys, because I'm just going to leave this rendering in the background. Yeah, I'll need to figure out why the displacement is so sensitive on this main ground. Honestly, I don't really understand it enough to say why. But yeah, so that's it for the stream for today. I'll be back again tomorrow. We'll probably do a bit of work on the bricks, actually getting them to look good rather than pizza dough, as Pranav correctly put it. But yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Bye bye.